Good afternoon, St. Mary's, and how are you today? It's Friday, it's the end of the week. So, we're winding down, we're getting close to the end of the school year, and has it been a bizarre school year? So, today I'm going to talk to you about did you have about imaginary friends? When Natalie, my younger daughter, was little, she had an imaginary friend whose name was Jules. Jules lived underneath her bed. And whenever she did something wrong or got into trouble, she just very seriously looked at me and she said, Jules made me do it. So, on that note, we're going to read The Adventures of Beekle, the unimaginary friend, written and illustrated by Dan Santant. He was born on an island far away where imaginary friends were created. Here they lived and played, each eagerly awaiting to be imagined by a real child. Every night he stood under the stars, hoping for his turn to be picked by a child and given a special name. He waited for many nights. But his turn never came. His mind filled with thoughts of all the amazing things that were keeping his friends from imagining him. So, rather than waiting, he did the unimaginable. And he sailed through unknown waters and faced many scary things, but thinking about his friend gave him the courage to journey on. Until he reached the real world. The real world was a very strange place. No kids were eating cake. No one stopped to hear the music, and everyone needed a nap time. Then he finally saw something familiar, and so he followed. He had a good feeling about this place, but he looked everywhere, and he could not find his friend. He climbed to the top of the tree and looked out, wishing and hoping his friend would come. But no one came. He thought about how far he'd come and how long he'd waited, and he felt very sad. And then he heard a noise below. Hello! Her face was friendly and familiar, and there was something about her that felt just right. At first, they weren't sure what to do. Neither of them had made a friend before, but after a little while, they realized that they were perfect together. Beekle and Alice had many new adventures. They shared their snacks, and they told funny jokes. The world began to feel just a little less strange. And together, they did the unimaginable. And so, boys and girls, you met Beekle and Alice, the imaginary friend and his friend. So, I'm going to ask you today, do you have an imaginary friend? Or if you did have one, or if you could have one, what does it look like? What is its name, and what would you do together? Write me a paragraph, draw me a picture. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. And as I said before, it's Friday. And so our week has ended. Have a great weekend. Have a nice break from your studies. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Thanks and good night.